I'm back. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Tuesday Night Live show for September 21st, 2021. Tonight's special guest is Randyl Santa Checker Lee. He's coming to us all the way from Rochester Hills, Michigan. And he is such a talented gentleman with wears many, many, many hats. So stay with us. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Santa Bob McMasters, and at this time, let's bring in my co-host to the Tuesday Night Live show, Santa Barry Cummins.
Hey, good to see everybody out there. Thank you for being with us tonight. And I must say, Bob and Angela, it's just wonderful to have you two back with us. Pray for your continued healing, and a lot of prayers has been up for you and your family, man. Just continue to get well, but glad to have you back tonight.
Well, thank you, Barry. And Help Angela is with us. She's behind the scenes tonight. And I just want to start the show off by giving everyone my heartfelt thanks to everyone that has called, text, PM'd, sent us messages in every kind of way you can think of. This virus is so brutal, and I think we're all on the mend. Of course, we're going to have some lingering effects for a while. I just want to thank you all for your prayers. Prayer does work. Praise the Lord. My wife, Carol's still in the hospital, but she's improving. She's just really looking forward to coming home after 11 days, going on 12 days, whatever it's been. I've lost count. For me, the hardest part was pulling up to the emergency room and dropping her off and not being able to go in and be with her. And so we're just thankful and praise the Lord again. Everybody take care of themselves. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. Okay, so before we get started, we're going to ask you, our viewer, to give us some help. Barry?
All right, everyone, if you would, first reach over there, give us a like, and share this stream to help build the viewership of the show tonight. We appreciate you being with us. We know you have a choice with your time. Thank you for being with us on the Tuesday Night Live show. And now we're going over to Bob for some Tuesday Night Live trivia.
All right, since our guest tonight hails from Michigan, we got a trivia question related to Michigan this week. There are 10 towns in Michigan that have Christmas holiday-related names. Let's see how many we can name. This will give everyone a chance to kind of chime in. There's 10 names that are Christmas-related in the state of Michigan. Throw your best shots at us. 10 names that are Christmas related. And I don't know if that's a record or not, but gosh, it almost seems like it should be if it's not.
Yeah, that's a lot of names that's associated with Christmas. Yesterday on the show, we told them to, Holly is one. Good job, Teresa.
One of them is Holly.
Be up on Michigan trivia.
Got 9 more. Christmas is the other one. That leaves us with 8.
That's Adam.
That's not one of that we have listed, Mick.
No Cole, Scott.
Nope, don't find that one on our list. Of course, if you're bad enough, I guess you can get Cole in Michigan. I have to ask Randyl about that.
Now
Any
here's
other
a hint
guesses?
for another one, everybody. Who do we portray? What's another word for Santa Claus? Another name. Where did it originate?
I can hear the keyboards working hard.
Oh yeah, they're probably burning up Google.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them kind of surprise you. Not beard. No. Who do we all portray, and where did it begin?
That's one. I'll give you a hint on another one. What do the reindeer wear? What do they wear on their heads? We'll make it even easier. And of course, one of the other ones, I believe many of us have one of our elves in our backstory named this particular name also. Well, Bells is correct, but it's Bell. Bell, Michigan. So that's correct.
So we've got Christmas, Bell, and I believe it was Holly. Antlers is correct.
Antlers is correct.
Good job, David Dixon.
One of the other names is related to the top of a Christmas tree. And another name is related to the shape of a candy cane. Guess you'd say that.
I can't believe somebody hadn't got the one that's just totally obvious. Where did the legend begin, and who was it?
No. Okay, the legend who started this whole the whole thing was from Myra, which is present day Turkey. Myra. What was his name? Star is one of them. That's correct, Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby.
Good job, brother.
Stars one.
And what do we all wish for on Christmas? There you go.
There you go.
Okay.
St. Nicholas.
St. Nicholas is one of them. And what do we all wish for on Christmas morning to make it look so bright and pretty outside? Drawing more than one drawing more than one at a time at them, trying to get them confused.
St. Nicholas is correct.
Is one of them. Okay, we'll give a couple more seconds and then we'll move along. Snow is correct. Good job, Scott. And it leaves us with just actually 3 answers, I believe, isn't it?
Yep, we still like 2. Snow is correct.
Yep. So St. Nicholas carries a shaft, walking stick style shaft, brochure. What's another name for that? If you were going to herd your flock, put it that way.
Or who did the angels appear to tell first about the birth of Jesus?
There you go. That's even a better clue to it right there.
Who tended the sheep?
And another name for staff.
Shepherd.
There you go. Shepherd's correct. Shepherd. So did we get them all?
Except the Christmas star. Some people calls it the North Star.
That's true. That's the only one we didn't get, wasn't it? So it's Christmas, St. Nicholas, snow, bell, antlers, holly, spruce, star, North Star, and shepherd. And that's pretty cool if you live in Michigan to have all those names if you are a Christmas freak like we all are. All right, Barry, over to you.
All right. Tonight's time to welcome to our Tuesday night live show the man of many faces and hats, and our friend Randyl Santa Checker Lee. Welcome to the show.
Hey, hi everybody. Good to see everyone.
Good to have you on, brother. You're looking good. We've seen that you had touched your hair and beard up for the show tonight. Looks very good.
Tonight.
Spot debonair.
I wouldn't go that far, but thank you. You know, so COVID has affected your eyes too, right, Bob? Is that it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Randyl, let's get started by talking magic and clowning.
Oh.
When did you actually get started, and how old were you?
Oh my goodness! I mean, it goes back to my when I was really young. My uncle did, you know, the little stuff with coins and all that, and I thought it was fascinating when I was second, third grade. Then I was into magic, and I was a rather round young man. I fit, or young lad. I fit the part of being Santa size-wise when I was young. And loved magic, and it was a cool thing to do. So I started collecting it and getting it for my birthday and Christmas and things like that. And so I thought clowning was cool, balloons were cool. So I put it all together, and I've got all this magic in my bedroom. Well, I want to start performing. So my first show, I was 13 years old. I still have the thank you letter from the birthday party. $10 is what I got paid for an hour show. It was probably ended up being an hour and a half between the magic, the balloons, and everything else. It was an incredible time, and I just did a ton of shows. I would put up a little flyer up at the local grocery store, you know, and that's all I did. Of course, back then they had local paper. I put an ad in, and I just started doing shows then, and it just grew and grew. I was very fortunate, but 13 years old, I was first started doing shows, and it was a riot. And I mainly put clown makeup on, like I said, because I was as wide around as I was tall at the time, so I wanted to hide it up. That's what the Checker name is from. That's why it's Randyl and Santa, and Checker is my clown name. So that's Checker is my clown name, and always has been. It's been registered by Clowns of America and everything else, international, I guess we got to call it now. It's a riot. I mean, I was very fortunate to do many, many things when it comes to magic throughout the years. I know this is kind of skipping ahead a few years, but in 1980 and 81, I was fortunate enough to work for a national company, a food company, Burger King, in fact. But I was the Burger King. I was the guy with the red beard and did the magic. You know, I toured the Midwest, and it was just phenomenal. So magic has really given me a lot of excitement, a lot of unique things that I really, really, really enjoyed. Sorry, I get rambling.
That's okay. I probably participated in a bunch of those disappearing acts of some of those burgers at Burger King.
Yeah, I still. It was a wonderful experience. That was just because I got to work for a company out of North Hollywood. I spent a long time in living in Studio City, California, to train, and then doing it here for a couple of years, and it was just a riot. But through the years, doing magic at the auto shows. But here in Detroit, the auto show is such a big deal because that's all Detroit is automotive mainly. Being able to do the auto show when you're 15 years old. I wasn't even old enough to drive back and forth. My mother used to drive me back and forth from home to pick me up downtown Detroit. And I'd do balloons and I'd do things for 4 or 5 hours. And I was working with clowns that have been around for 25, 30 years, 40 years. And I was just getting started. But, you dip your foot into there. Oh, there we go. Hello, Terry. That young lady there that you've got to sign up, I've known since, I think I was about 5 years old, maybe.
Very good. Can you tell us about your time touring Michigan with the Magic Clown Illusion Show?
Oh, wow. What a crazy experience. Because there was plenty, back in the late 70s, early 80s. There was plenty people doing magic and plenty of illusion shows. Cutting somebody in half and making them levitate and things like that, or producing rabbits and whatever else. I connected with a company that did benefit shows. It was a 90-minute show that we toured Michigan, but I was the only, and we did Ohio and part of northern Indiana and everything else. But I did it as Checker the Magic Clown, which was such an oddity. So it sold very well for families. Well, we don't know if we want to see somebody put a sword through somebody's neck or saw somebody in half, but since I did it as a clown, it was just so much. It got to sell so much easier. We had just full crowds at all these high schools and everything. It was for the fire department, the local fire departments, northern Michigan and everything else in northern Ohio. So yeah, it was very rare to see the whole show be done, an illusion show, when you levitate somebody as a clown. I mean, it looks totally different than you're used to seeing Copperfield or people like that. They've got the look, and it made the magic real magic, but we also added jokes to it. Like I had helium balloons on the illusion, supposedly. Of course, they popped and the person stayed there. Things like that. So it was a riot. And the stories that you tell, I've always wanted to write a book that says the entertainment off the stage, the things that happen throughout the years, and the little thing. I want you to tell this one story. I was doing a show, and there's a thing called a bongo blendo bag, where you show a bag, you put things in, you shake it, and it becomes this big foulard, big silk. Well, I had a crown on it, a hat type thing, and I shook it. It hit and it cracked my nose. It was dribbling down blood on my nose, and it just like so many things can happen on stage. It's just crazy. You never know. I slipped off the stage one time, and boom, 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 and but you get up, and the show must go on, And you hope you make it look like a fun pratfall when you're dressed as a clown. They don't think you're like, he just fell off the stage for real.
Sometimes you just have to improv.
Yeah. And hope you didn't hurt yourself. Ow, ow. Now I don't think I can handle it falling off the stage now. I don't think I could get back up that quick anymore. Boy, that was a long time ago, but so many wonderful memories. I mean, just blessed, very blessed at the fun stuff I've been able to do.
Well, in 1996, you were inducted as the youngest member into the Order of the Merlin International Brotherhood of Magicians. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, thank you. That was the International Brotherhood of Magicians is an international organization for magicians, and I started when I was 16 as a member. In '96, then I went to their convention out in Los Angeles, and you have a thing, it says your Order of Merlin, and I walk in and they stop me at the door. They go, "This is for Order of Merlin only. You can't be." And then it's like, yeah, I am. So then the national president had to come over, a gentleman named Bev Bergeron, which was known for as Rebo the Clown for many, many years, and worked for Disney for years, was the international president at the time. He came over and said, yeah, he's sitting right next to me. He's the youngest. We're going to acknowledge him tonight. He's the youngest ever to become in the Order of Merlin for International Brotherhood of Magicians. So it was kind of like a weird thing. They didn't expect me to come in because I was this young looking guy. The rest of them are older because it was had to do with not age, but it had to do with consecutive years of magic and everything else. So it was a fun thing. Since then, I've been a member of Order of Excelsior, and a couple more years, 3 years, I'll be Order of Merlin Excalibur, I think is what the next one is. It's crazy. It's crazy to think. I look back and started doing magic and stuff when I was 13. I haven't grown up. I've grown out. I've grown out, but I haven't grown up. I'm doing the same thing I did when I was then, and so it's kind of hard to look back at that length of time. It just doesn't seem that way.
When 2020, when the pandemic hit, did you adjust your magic shows to go virtual like a lot of Santas did? And if so, how many have you performed that way?
Oh, yeah. When it comes to go back to my magic, of course, all my magic shows, birthday parties, and the school year shows, they were all canceled. that was nothing. So I had to do the old scramble. So the old family room, I put up a makeshift stage, and I learned by a very close friend of mine. Her daughter was in marketing, and she helped me market some of that stuff, how to get that out. Um, and I ended up doing 50 some magic shows, complete show. Of course, what a difference is when I usually do a lot of live things, and you have helpers come up. That's what I like the most, to have helpers come up during my show. It always gets the interaction better. What a change when all of a sudden you're on camera and you might get the reaction back, but you don't. Okay, you can't hold this. It was totally different. But I mean, I muddled through and I made it through. I did over 50 birthday parties and end of school year, which was always a big thing for me to do, end of school year shows for live ones. But I readapted them to virtual, and then that helped me get into the Santa one. Those companies that, of course, quite a few companies last year did virtual, and Santa virtual was crazy. I loved it. I did over 600 virtual visits for Santa, but that was just after kind of having the knowledge ahead of time, learning. It doesn't really work good on a tablet. It doesn't, you've got to have more than that. You've got to have a good mic. You've got to have a good camera. Of course, at that time, everybody was buying them because that's the only way businesses could run. So it was hard to get that stuff besides. So, but yeah, it was fun. It was fun to learn a totally different avenue how to relate to everybody on, out there, even doing the magic, because you had to pause even longer when you would do a trick. Okay, that's very easy on stage, but it's different when you're standing here doing this. And when you have to interact, you ask the children, I'm going to teach you some magic words, and you have them wiggle your fingers. You've got to stop for a minute and let them wiggle their fingers. When it's live, you can see that. Most of the time on camera, you can't. In fact, we're going to do this for a minute. I need everybody to do me a favor. Wiggle your fingers. We're going to learn some elf words. Are you ready? Wiggle your fingers. Say your magic words. Wee-oo, wee-oo. Would you jingle bells? Oh, that makes Santa laugh every time I hear that. And you have to stop for a minute. And now think of all the wonderful Christmas colors. Are you thinking of the Christmas colors? Now from your home, wherever you're at across the world, all the way to the North Pole, watch. We're going to have all the colors. We have all the colors. Come right here. Oh, look at, somebody drew Santa's hat. And all the colors of the tree, the beautiful reds, the greens, the blues, and of course, Santa's favorite part and yours, the packages. And of course, it's a little different when you have to do that instead of live. But you learn. It's a riot. It's just, it gets me all crazy. Sorry.
Yeah, that's kind of like our show here. We kind of run into the same thing. We don't have the audience interaction coming back at us other than comments. So it's not like doing a show where you can actually, say for instance, if you was on Zoom or Skype, compared to the platform that we used. But that's pretty cool, and to be able to take that performance and do it virtual has got to be a big adjustment.
Yeah, it's as long as you've got to learn. The biggest thing is to take those pauses. It's like if you're talking, you look and take a pause for a minute and listen, because there is, and we don't know everybody's, especially when it's virtual, what their speed is and everything else, what their internet stuff is. So you really have to. They could freeze up just as one end or the other. So, but live is. I mean, it'll be fun this year to get back to live. But virtual was a riot. I mean, you can do just as much. And this is my Christmas studio, for this season. So.
Sure, but again, there's nothing like live performance. Okay, Randyl, let's move into more of the Santa end of it now. We've kind of covered your magic and your early years in magician. We're always interested in knowing about your first time performing in the red suit. Can you tell us about that and what that was like?
Wow, yeah, it was in 1981. Yep, I'm that old. 1981. That's crazy. It's hard to really think about that. That was the end of my the Burger King time, and I was back here in Michigan. And a friend of mine was a photographer at a local mall. Actually, the first mall in Michigan. It was called The Mall. It was in Pontiac, Michigan. The thing was called The Mall, since it's no longer a mall anymore. But she goes, I don't have a Santa for tonight. Can you help me out? And I'm thinking, well, I've performed. Why not? I can put the suit on. And so I said, yeah, I put a designer beard on and put the belly on and went out there. And oh my gosh, it was just incredible. I mean, just was like, this is cool. I got to do more of this, I mean, it was, and I still remember a couple things that some children said way back then. I mean, there's been hundreds of thousands of children throughout the year, but there was two there that night that I just remember for some reason. It's this little girl, just the cutest little doll, and you could tell her family. It was like wanted to pull at your heartstrings and heart, because you could tell they didn't, they were not well off, and it was just very soft and sweet. Santa, I didn't get my doll last year because my dad's not working or whatever she said, and it's like, can I get one this year? It's like, oh yeah, you want to do it so much. I mean, that was just, and I didn't realize how heart pulling that was. I mean, because that was my first time. And then this exact same evening, this young man comes up, and he's, shorter and rounder young man, kind of the way I was when I was a little boy. And he waddles up, and I did my old Santa. So what would you like for Christmas? And he goes, Santa, I'd like a bike, but my dad said I'd probably like get a kick in the butt instead. So then it's like, because I wasn't used to being Santa, I started laughing. I couldn't help it. I couldn't control my character yet as Santa. So, but it's just, I just learned so much from spectrum from here to here in one night. Phenomenal. I mean, it was, so then I didn't do a whole lot. I would do local malls, but only part-time, because I was still doing a lot of magic. Doing a lot of tableside magic as either Randyl, or I even went as Jangles the elf. I would dress up as an elf character, Michigan's largest elf, and I do tableside magic that way. So I kind of did more of that for the next many years, until it got to be, you know what, I kind of like this, that much more than doing that much magic during the holidays. But I always want to do magic. And of course, I was a designer beard, because of my real job. I had a real job. I worked in the food service business for over 40 years of my life. I was chef and all that, so I couldn't really they don't really like beards in kitchens. So I used a designer beard, and I did probably every local mall in the area until probably about 15 years ago, when it just skyrocketed the amount of shows I started doing. And then 10 years ago, when I started doing this, it changed, pretty much changed everything during the holidays. But that's but 1981. That's crazy. And my mother was a seamstress, so she made my Santa suits. She made my clown suits. So I was very fortunate that I had somebody, because back in 1981 there was no Santa groups, really. Charles Howard, did you go to the big school? Yeah, but I'm 20 years old. I can't afford to go there. That was only for professionals, here in Michigan's Charles W. Howard. And of course, there was no internet, so we had no connection to anybody. You just kind of muddled your way through and did your best you can. We had a thing called Bronner's here in Michigan, which is not too far away, which I bought my first designer beard from. Now, of course, it's fantastic what we can connect with for this business. So
yeah, I don't think the new guys coming in nowadays realize how limited resources were just 15 years ago or so, and how fortunate that we all are to have the networking and the different aspects to learn from. And well, I tell you, that's a great story that you just told us. And I have a question. And do you do a hybrid show mixing in Santa? I know you just done a little Santa magic for us just a moment ago with the Christmas tree and Santa. but do you mix in a lot of your magic into your Santa performance?
Yeah, I really do. I try to do, and this is something I say anyway. To me, Santa is the most magical character there ever was. I mean, there's some things that Santa can do. I mean, he can around the world in one night. He can get down a chimney. Santa's the most magical person. I mean, it's phenomenal. So why can't he do miracles and magic while you're talking to him in a scene? Like little things like, I produce cookies. I do a whole story about, Mrs. Claus is busy, but Santa loves his cookies. And, I always make sure I tell the children we gotta make cookies, but don't tell Mrs. Claus. Of course, then we make cookies. So I make cookies and I have them to eat later. I'll have them later on. So I integrate magic into as much as I can. The children ask a story about, well, how do you fit all the goodies in a bag? How do you fit all the packages in the bag? Well, this is a smaller version I can show you online here. It's a Santa bag, but it's surprising what you can fit. I might not have this. It's surprising what you can fit inside a bag like this. It is surprising what you can fit inside. That's how Santa's bags works. I mean, so and of course there's more stuff in there too. But so I try to incorporate whatever I can in a story. So it takes Santa not being a magician, but using magic props and magic theory as the entertainment.
It just takes that larger than life aspect of being Santa
right
to the next level on steroids. I love that, what you just done. Barry?
Randyl, how many different types of events have you done, such as maybe parades, tree lightings, things like that? And tell us about some of those experiences.
Wow. Oh, these are fun. Of course, everybody I shouldn't say this, but I think everybody has to do them all. I think you have to do that just because that is an experience that nonstop. I mean, that is an education all the way. You're rapid fire on questions. It's whose line is it? Next, and that's a wonderful thing to do. So I've done every local mall here, parades, from getting this tree to the key to the city. Probably one of my funnest. That's not a proper word, is it? Funnest. One is a city I've done 18 years now in a row, and I'm pulled on a sleigh, which has wheels on it though, by a reindeer. They actually hook up a reindeer onto the sleigh, and it's such a cool thing to do. Of course, there's handlers. I don't really ride it myself. I'm not riding a sleigh, but it looks so cool. You get that picture of Santa on a sleigh, and there's a reindeer right in front, going down downtown city, the city of actually it's of Witcham here locally. So that's all right. I've done every Santa that comes in a parade should probably been on a fire truck. I've been in a police car one day. Santa, why are you in a police car? So that doesn't work to me with Santa being in a police car. Probably one of the most, and I'll say scariest, was I actually arrived in a city. It was a city here in Metro Detroit. I arrived in a helicopter, and that's when I was probably 400 pounds. I'm sure that's probably close to the weight I was at the time. And you're in a two-man helicopter, and takes off kind of it'll take off on an angle. I go, yeah. But I mean, what an experience though, arriving in the middle of a parking lot in a helicopter and getting out. So it's some of those things you don't get to do unless you get to wear the red suit. I mean, a lot of people ride helicopters, but then it kind of feels like that cool rock star image. I've done I've limo. I've arrived in a boat, things like that. And when it comes to all the others, anywhere from country clubs to corporate events, house parties are just a riot, especially when you do them year after year after year. They become so emotional. when you do house parties year after year. It's like, here's the family from last year. Oh, I'm sorry, mother passed away. Oh, or you have to get on now. Of course, it's fun. You get on FaceTime and you see the children that have moved away to another city. Santa's got to say hello. So you have done all the house visits. It is, like I said, I can't be more blessed and thankful for putting on, being able to put on the beard. It's not put on anymore, but very, very thankful. So it's pretty much, I've dabbled in all of them. I think I've done a little bit of all the parades and corporate, the country clubs and everything else. Yeah, that's right. I was getting out. You can't get out of a helicopter gracefully. There is no way. And at the time I was a designer beard, so you have about this much, about this much viewfinder, view because of your everything else. So yeah, you don't get out of a helicopter gracefully. Nor do you get out of a sleigh on top of a thing. Sometimes they got those, for some reason, I don't know why, on sleighs they put the things that you get out, the size of a 3x5 card. It's what you got to step on, and I don't know why they do that. Why can't they make the steps a little bit bigger? And it's kind of funny if you think about it. Santa's should be going from house to house and just jumping quick, and we have to be careful getting out and slowly stepping down because most of us have some age on us and have more in the belly region. So we don't, we're not quite as nimble as the movies portray us. So yeah, and I don't know which one I really, really like more. Because they all have their energy. They all have their energy. Tree lightings are fun too, because it's like that countdown. It's just exciting. And this is gonna be fun. I've got 4 tree lightings this year, which more than I usually have. I usually have about 2 a year tree lightings, but they're real exciting to do because it's just boom. It's Santa did that, and it's that thing that makes Santa magical. I hope that answered the question.
Now, when you do a tree lighting, do you start the countdown at 10 to give people enough time to catch up? Usually it takes a few seconds for everybody to get in sync.
Yeah, there has been a few different times, but mainly start at 10. Thank goodness. And there's always, even if you're live, there's always somebody a little slow or can't hear you. Or if the band is not quite on at that particular time when Santa, so I did a opening at for a tree lighting for a place, and it was like there must have been 150 inside a building, a few hundred people, and 20-some foot tree. All right, everybody, on the count of, let's count down from 3. We did the countdown. 3, 2, 1. Let's try it again. 3, 2, 1. I did it 3 times. And it's like yeah, the person that flipped the switch was I don't know, having a smoke break or something. I don't know. It was just things happen. You just keep on going. It's all you can do.
Yeah, you're talking about coming in and how hard it is to get out of a helicopter. 2018 and 19, I was fortunate enough to be brought in to my mall via helicopter. They brought me in a Caraflight, so I had a pilot and a 2-man flight crew. And you would think that those helicopters have more room in them when you look at them from outside, but it is amazing how tight the jumper seats are in there, and it's almost like 20 clowns trying to crawl out of a clown car, when you get ready to get out. And like you said, then it's awkward trying to get your footing and get to the ground. But always so much fun. I really enjoy that part of it. Okay, Randall, so at this point, we're going to take a short breather, as we always do, because tonight, as always, Tuesday Night Live Show, we take a break here for a special product announcement. So stay with us. We'll be back right after this. Okay, well, we can't mention clown without stopping the show for the Tuesday Night Live Showstopper Special. For this week's StuffForSanta.com Showstopper Special, we go straight out to the head clown at large and in charge. And the last time we had Daisy May, she was the real boss. She's standing behind Spangle to make sure he does everything right. Hi, guys.
Hi there and welcome, guys. Hey, Bob, I'm glad to see you're back, man. We've been praying for you, and you have really been in our hearts and our prayers. Hey, you mentioned about 20 clowns in a car. How do you know about that, Bob? I'm beginning to think that you have a secret identity as a clown.
You never know.
It's that big red nose, isn't it? Hey, anyways, this week's Showstopper Special, we got our reindeer cards. There is 9 reindeer cards to a set. Every card has a backstory on it. These are great. You can pull one out of your pocket, ask a child, do you know about Dasher? And you could read the backstory and give them that card. You don't have to give them a whole set. But I think if you come across a special child or you're doing a home visit, give them the whole set. Make it really special for them. But anyways, on our website, StuffForSanta.com, these are normally $2 a piece. We have them listed right now, 100 of them for $100. But wait, this is the Showstopper Special. If you go on there and order 100 of these for $100, we're going to send you another 100 free. So you're going to get 200. That's almost like $400 worth of cards for $100. And, of course, the shipping is $8. So anybody that orders them tonight, we usually just do this during the show, but we don't want you to miss any of the show. So you can wait till after the show. 12 o'clock tonight, Central Time, we will add in these $1 million bills. We will add a pack of 50 of these. They're normally $10. That'll cover your $8 shipping for today. Anyways, 100 sets, $100. Order this week, you're going to get twice it. You're going to get 200 sets for the $100. Anyways, we thank you for allowing us to be a part of your show. We're loving the show. We're glad to see Bob's back. We're praying for Carol. Guys, keep on with the show.
Merry Christmas.
Now we know, Bob.
See you, buddy.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Daisy May. Appreciate it very much, guys.
You are watching the Tuesday Night Live show with Bob, Barry, and Angela. Sponsored by StuffForSanta.com and SchoolOfSantas.com, where you can find everything you need to support your Santa and Mrs. Claus business. Remember, if Spangle ain't got it, it doesn't exist. So contact Spangle at StuffForSanta.com today. Now back to the show.
Well, that was a lot of fun. Okay, so let's get back into it, Randall. We've had a great show so far, but we've got some more to do here. So I know that you had mentioned that you had started off as a traditional bearded Santa, as many of us did. When did you decide to switch over to a real bearded Santa, and how did you go about learning the process of bleaching and taking care of it yourself?
Boy, yeah, I just started out with as a designer beard. It was the old-fashioned with the strap, and at the time, the mustache and the beard were connected. And I only did that for a few years like that. For some reason, I didn't like it because they couldn't see my mouth, and I wanted to have the mustache and the thing move. So I actually would cut off the mustache from the beard, and I would glue the mustache on and have the bottom beard so it had the look. And I took it. It was kind of crazy. My beards at the time, I had little, and only a few set of people will remember this, Shirley Temple ringlets that came down. That's what my designer beard looked like for many, many years. I took it to a local person that actually made wigs, and they would set them for me and everything else. Just the look that I wanted. Then about 10 years ago, when I no longer really worked in the kitchen, I could grow a beard. So that kind of put me over the edge to go from designer beard and everything else. And I was far more into doing Santa at the time. And of course I saw the clubs that had to do with real beards and everything else, and was noticing that, those guys are, might be working more than I was, and I was kind of tired of. I can tell you a story about the designer one. I was doing at a local country club, and a gentleman, he was a real hugger, put his arm around me and he caught my wig with his bracelet, and he goes around. Next thing you know, my wig's all turned around. It's halfway in my head, and it's like, okay, I got to come up with something else, So that kind of put me over the edge too to try this. But like you asked, Bob, it's the hardest part is to figure out then how do you do it. I thought, oh, you just go to the local thing and I want to get some hair dye like women dye their hair. Boy, that's not the case, is it? My hair now is really, True Life is grayish to dark gray, what it is now. And this morning I had it bleached for the first time. It takes, I bleached today, 3 weeks from now, get it bleached again. It'll become a little whiter. You won't have a little brassiness to it. 2 weeks later, I'll do it again right before my first show. So it takes 6 weeks to get my hair, snow white. As white as the snow is like what the line says. And but there's so much to do with hair care. It's always funny that I have more hair products in the shower and the bathroom than my wife does. That's when you know you're a Santa, when you've got more hair care products than your wife does. Of course, now there's some, Santas are so knowledgeable about how to take care of it, how to put the protein in it, the beard oils, and everything else. It is just how to take care of it. It is really, really far better now for somebody that bleaches a lot. And of course, there's a lot of gentlemen that don't have to bleach. Wonderful, that have snow white naturally. So, yeah, it's been about 10 years since I've been doing that. And it really did. It actually took my Santa business and actually made it busier for me, and actually probably a little easier in the long run. But the designer beards are just, they're phenomenal too. There's some Santas that are like, they blow me away how beautiful designer beards are. They're just, wow. And it's like someone just said, it's not the way the beard looks, it's the heart. And that's the truth. It doesn't matter if it's a little yellowish, if it's a little grayish, if it's designer, if it's not, it's the Santa that really makes the difference. I just want to make sure I put that in too. That is the truth. So.
Well, Randyl, you kind of touched on it earlier in the interview about, some interesting ways you arrive to events. How about a teachable moment for the Santas that's out there? What was one of your things that you really learned, or maybe you might have made a mistake in the chair or something that new Santas and even the older Santas can learn from?
Probably, of course, in the very, very beginning, it was, and pretty much everybody knows this, I think, that you don't promise or can't promise anything. And that's something, of course, is pretty much Santa 101. We can't promise anything. We don't know what the family's situation is. We can make a child feel better about something. I went to a few classes, and I think every Santa should do this too, is about how to deal with when they ask the question about, I miss my grandma, she passed away, or my dad's over, seas, wherever. I think we all should take some type of a class on that. And I took a class on that, which was just, it really helped a lot. In fact, it kind of made this little routine, which I like to do, for the children. The child is, a special gift just for you as a child, and it's a smile and memory globe. And I have the children to think of a special thought, think of something they want to remember about their grandma or whatever, and think of it, and it'll always stay here. You think about it, and you think, and have the children think, and they'll always remember. and it just all accumulates right here in the magical dream globe. So you can put something together like this. I can turn it off now because this is just a dollar store globe. But it's a routine I wasn't taught that routine, but I was taught the thought process of trying to let the children feel okay about that we can't bring mom or dad back or together, even though you love them both, or we can't bring something. It's a different way of making them feel good. So I hope that answered the question.
Great tip. Thank you.
Yeah, Randyl, we had talked earlier about your virtual magic visits as well as your Santa virtual visits. Is that something that you are going to try to continue to do more of this year, or are you going to have a balanced mix of in-person and virtual?
Yeah, I hope to do a balance of both, and I've definitely signed a fair amount of contracts to do live. People are going nuts to get live again. I mean, it's crazy. I'm trying to leave at least, I would say, 300 plus hours available for virtual. I know, how can you leave 300 hours when you're already doing 300 hours with everything else? But there's plenty of time. When I used to work 50 hours a week in a real job, and I still did, how many shows a day, so a week. So you can fit it in, especially virtual. You can do anytime. I'm hoping to do both. There's some phenomenal companies out there that offer both. That offer virtual. Like I said, I did over 600 virtuals last year for Santa, and I just had a riot. It started 6 o'clock in the morning until 10, 11 o'clock at night some days. And how else can we, as Santa, all of a sudden do Children in Ireland like I did, or Japan I did, Hawaii. I live in the Metro Detroit area. I do, encompass how many miles, but virtual. Oh my goodness, we are international when we do virtual. It's very exciting. In fact, I think last year I might have done 3 from Michigan. Very, very few virtual visits besides my own. I mean, the ones that I literally book with friends or family, not family, but friends, or other my clients that I did virtual from. But from companies, I mean, what an experience! You're going, oh, you look at the next thing. Oh my goodness, they're in Korea. How cool that is, So it's something you can do so extra from virtual that you can't do live. Because we won't travel. We don't, unless you want to go abroad for the whole summer, then go to Dubai or whatever. Yeah, I'm hoping to do both because it's, I think as a Santa, we are entertainers and we need to connect. So we should be able to connect, if it's virtual, by smiling and doing magic and talking to the children that way. At least I feel we're entertainers. We're there to entertain and make them happy, and do the best we can portraying the character of Santa. So if I have to do it in this little parameter of a square, I'm entertaining. I love it. Or if I can do it sitting on somebody's couch or at a throne in a mall or something, I hope to do please let me do both, a little bit of everything. So.
I know that you like to share your many experiences with the community, and one of the things I know that you do a lot of is workshops. Can you tell us about some of your workshops and the approach that you take to teaching?
Yeah, because I've all the workshops I've done teaching magic that Santa can do. That little, excuse me, I need to reach down here to get it. The candy cane out of the bag. I teach how this is made and how Santa can do this. This is actually made out of a curtain rod cover is what this is. It's a curtain rod cover that I took red electrical tape and rolled it around and everything else. So it's not like you have to have expensive magic props. This is $3.98, I think, at Home Depot, plus a roll of tape to make something magical happen. So I taught some magic you can do, and the coloring thing I taught a few times. And actually, I say this for me, but you can go to YouTube and learn how to build one of these. But also balloons. I like to do balloons things that Santa can do, especially for a home visit. I've done this same one routine 3 different times. I did it for Gina. When Gina had Gina Bacon had her nationwide Santa's conventions. I was in Las Vegas. I did a class on that where you make antlers out of balloons and then a little balloon nose. And then after you do that, because if you're at a home visit, you've got 8 or 9 people together with antlers on, and then you all get to sing Rudolph. It just one thing leads to another. It's not that Santa's doing balloons. It's now we're going to sing together, and you're going to walk around like you're the reindeer. I did that actually with Spangle. We did it at the iBirds convention in Denver. The same thing. I taught that there, how to do the reindeer thing, and to it just helps your home visit. At our last meeting here, we have a local organization here in Michigan called MAPS, Michigan Association of Professional Santas. Phenomenal group of Santas. Our major goal is, our storyline is we're better together. Thank you, Michael Howe. We are. I had to put a shout out to Michael Howe. He's a phenomenal Santa. We just had a convention in Saginaw, Michigan, which the Red Suit Conclave, and I taught their magic and balloons, the same thing. And it's just things that Santa, like I said earlier today, things that Santa can do to make you more magical, but not to be a magician. I would never saw somebody in half as Santa. I would never, make somebody float as Santa. I wouldn't do those kind of things. But incorporating them into the show, that's what I've taught at the different classes, and I have during a virtual company last year. I did a lot of teaching of lighting and things like that to do virtual, but not to a large mass of people, just kind of one-on-one. So yeah, it's all right. I mean, and that's where I think we here in Michigan with MAPS do a lot of good teaching other Santas, being open to, and that's what you guys do here on Tuesday Night Live. And we always have somebody here teaching us, showing us something, which is phenomenal. That just should warm everybody's heart, and you can take something from everybody every week, and that's always learn. So, yeah, I'd love to go to the Thomas. I love to teach at the international. Like I said, I taught at Denver. I would love to do a thing. I plan on coming to Atlanta. I sure do. Atlanta's be a nice drive instead of a plane flight to Denver. So.
Now we hear you're also a ventriloquist. Who inspired you there? And tell us about your performance with the puppets.
This is. I use this. I got one in here. I have this right next to my table all the time when I'm doing virtual. I sometimes start my virtual out, and I'll pretend I'm Santa's toy maker. This puppet was built in 1951 in the UK. It was my very first ventriloquist. The body didn't come with it, just clothing. I've since taken it off just to do the Santa routine. But I use him now as a prop as Santa, as being a toy maker, and then we interact with the children with it. Ventriloquism is I tell you what an art. It is hard. It's almost harder to practice than doing magic sometimes. I went to I can put him down, can't I? I went to a ventriloquist convention in Louisville, Kentucky, back in June. And I was fortunate enough to meet Jeff Dunham and Darcy Lynn, and they were all there, and Willie Tyler and Jay Johnson. I mean, all the greats in ventriloquism. So I got to go to the Ventriloquism Hall of Fame museum down there. It's a fun way to add one more thing to my show. I have actually he's up on one of my shelves. Actually, in the very corner here, this guy is actually you can hardly see him. He's an abominable snowman I have in the show. And if I tick this way, there's a puppet peeking out behind me that I like to use for different things. When let's say virtual's going and you need something, that's why I got everything here. But I have an elf puppet that I use for that does actually a magic trick. He wants to do magic, and so the elf interacts with doing a magic trick at part of the show. So yeah, it's. I mean, there's some wonderful ventriloquists out there that ladies that do ventriloquism that put on a wonderful show. So yeah, it's I love to entertain. I don't know where I got that from, because my father was a plumber and my mother worked for him, so they weren't entertainers, you know.
Well, now's when we open up this part of the show. Does anybody have any questions or comments for Randyl? Now's the time to put them in.
Oh, going long here. My goodness, that was a quick hour. Todd, how are you? Good to see you. How's Happy? That's Happy the Clown there, Todd. He does a great job.
Good to have you, Todd.
Yeah, glad to have you with us tonight.
Happy the Clown. What a wonderful clown name, Happy. I mean, you've got it perfect.
Perfect name.
Beautiful makeup too. If you see his stuff on Facebook, he's got a great makeup. He looks good. So,
Any other questions or comments?
I'm glad you're. Yeah, it looks like you're busy. Yeah, me too. That's good. Congratulations.
Very good. Carissa wants to tell you to keep her up on dates on any shows.
Yeah, that's kind of a. My mother and her father met each other when they were 2 years old, I think it was. So that's how long I've known that young. Well, of course I wasn't born then, but that's how long I've known that young lady.
I'm already has a question here for you.
Yeah, we did. In fact, the Maps did last year, because of COVID. We always had the Red Suit Conclave every year, but Michigan Association of Professional Santas, we didn't do it last year in 2000. So I did my class virtually, and with Maps we have classes almost once a month. We do virtually. So yeah, teaching is a good thing. What's great virtually, you can anybody can be there. You haven't got to limit it to your local area.
God, Parker's got a message there for you. Going to PM you on the magic things from tonight. That's too cool.
You got it, Scott. I'm glad to help you out. Be glad to. There's Happy.
Happy D. I like that.
And you can always find a lot of the magical stuff too for the Santa community, for stuff for Santa. Spangle has a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So next question I had was about virtual and live visits. I think we pretty much covered that fairly well. So back to you, Barry.
All right, Randyl, you shared so much with us, so much information. We'd love you to do our segment that we call Santa's Point of View. So we're just going to turn you loose. I know you have a lot of cool ideas, and give us your point of view from your perspective.
Are we live? Oh, we're live again. All right. Hello. This is the point of view, everybody. I'm going to give a little thumbs up and also a little extra promo for Spangle. Spangle has those great cards. Well, this is how I use them. Whenever I go to a house visit or something like this, I actually got a nice little, beautiful little box. And I ask the children if they like something special. And that's where I keep those cards from Spangle. So it's something that adds just a little extra to your entertainment thing, instead of just taking them out of your pocket or something if you're doing a show. Something really they think is very unique. So I actually took Spangle's cards and I took them one step further. So that's not my point of view. I just wanted to help Spangle out if you want to get some cards. They're really, really nice. So back to this point of view. My point of view on being Santa, it's phenomenal now what Santa can do. I think when I first started, like I kind of said, Santa only did mainly malls. He would be the guy that, you got your uncle to get a Kmart or, J.C. Penney suit, and you'd go to the houses. But now it's limitless. I mean, Santa is you're only limited to your imagination. I mean, things that are out there. And then when you're a Santa, make sure this is, because I've taken myself and I've branded it as myself as the magical Santa. there's so many people who have so many talents out there. As Santa, you should find almost kind of branding yourself. If you're a good singer, wow, be a singing Santa. Use that talent that you have to take your Santa and level it up a little bit. If you do whatever type of special you might have. If you play guitar, I can't. I bought a ukulele. I still can't play four strings. I thought it would be cool. There's so many Santas that are talented, musically talented. Take that and brand yourself as, I don't know if you want to call it musical Santa or whatever name you might want to come up with. Then just promote that on your website, promote that on your Facebook site, promote that on your business card. Do that every time you do a visit. That shows that so that puts you a little bit more unique than the other Santas. Of course, uniqueness now can be anywhere from the style coat we wear, no coat, vest. The looks are limitless besides, but when you take it the next step, that when you brand yourself as something really, really different, that's what I think you should do. And that to me rolls into the point of view about being an entertainer. We are portraying Santa, and he is, of course, a magical character, but he's just a character. So we need to portray him as special as we can, of course, but we are entertaining the people while we're doing it. We want to see those smiles. We want to hear that little clapping. We want to hear the giggles. We want to hear all those things. And that's exactly what an entertainer wants to hear also out of their audience. They want to hear the applause. They want to see the smiles. They want to hear the, oh, and they want to see all those reactions. It's the exact same reaction that we need to get and make out of our Santa character. In the olden days where your uncle used to sit on the thing and say, what do you want for Christmas? Smile, is pretty much gone, because there are just so many talented, just mind-blowing Santas out there, and they want to share their gift of knowledge to all of us between all the schools. And I guess that's going to roll into my next little point of view on schools. Go to schools. Go to as many as you can. I mean, you can't afford too many, but go to Santa schools, because there's a Santa school for everybody. You might not learn everything. And if you take 3 things out of every school, oh my goodness, the stuff you're going to learn, and how much better of a Santa you'll be, how many more smiles you're going to get, how many more rebookings you're going to get. And it doesn't matter if you do it for money or if you do it because you just love being Santa, and there's nothing that's what's wonderful about it too. It's a profession. I need to, some people say I have to make my $50,000 a year, and some people say I don't make a dime, and that's what doesn't matter. It all comes from here, but we still need to entertain, but you still need to be professional regardless what level you are. Boy, I'm speeding through this, aren't I? Because I know we've been here for a little while. So I guess I know some people don't always believe that we are entertainers, but I am an actor playing Santa. I only know 2 or 3 people that literally, honestly, changed their name to Santa Claus. The rest we all have our real name, like my name is Randyl Lee Wagner. But I portray Santa, and I'll do the best I can to get the many smiles as I can. And I know each and every one of you do the same thing, especially, and also Mrs. Clauses. They are such a big asset to Santa, to have a Mrs. Claus that is supporting you, or a Mrs. Claus that even does her own thing. I mean, my goodness, the stuff that Mrs. Claus is out there, I mean, blew me away last year with some of the interaction of the virtual meetings and stuff I went to. Wow. I got to learn. There's a lady here in Michigan that she does tea parties all the time, and Ellen does a wonderful job. She just loves to market herself, and just, it's like bravo to all the Mrs. Clauses. I wish Mrs. Clauses could do a lot more, because you deserve so much out there entertaining. So I guess the bottom line is we're here to make everybody happy. We're here to make the families happy, to put the children to smile, and that's what we have to do. However we want to get there, if it's doing magic, if it's singing, if it's getting that extra wonderful ho ho ho, or if it's sign language. Gosh, I wish I could do sign language. Man, that's I can do Santa. That's about all I can do. but that's such be wonderful to interact with a child that way. So thumbs up to every Santa can do that. That's but that is your specialty. That's what brands you to make you better and stand out. So we are the ambassadors, Santas. We are the ambassadors of joy and pure happiness. Never forget that. So I guess that's it. I want to thank each and every one of you for letting me spend this time with you tonight, especially Santa Bob and Santa Barry. You guys have been fantastic, and Angela, for letting me come here tonight and let you know what I think and things I've done. Truly proud and fortunate for this, and thankful for being asked. I wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas. Most of all, stay safe and stay magical. Thank you guys so much. Prayers to each and every one of you.
Randall, we want to thank you so much for coming, brother. I got to tell you, man, great information. If you didn't learn something tonight, you must be brain dead, I got to tell you, because that's quite educational. The one thing I did learn is that you're a quality person, a quality man, a great entertainer, and you love to share information, and we love you for that, man. And if you'll stick around with us, once the show is over, we go back into the green room. We'll talk a little bit more back there. But back over to Barry.
Yeah, Randyl, thank you so much. And once again, on behalf of my co-host, Santa Bob, and Elf Angela, thank you for being here, and thank you for the wisdom you shared. Hey, we're planning a season-ending show on October the 26th, and we're bringing back our previous guests throughout the year for a short segment to wish all a Merry Christmas. We'd love to have you back for a quick stop-in for that, and also our Halloween show. You up for that? Sounds great. All right, everyone. Share and invite others to our weekly Tuesday night live broadcast, as well as invite others to our 2 Facebook groups. You can find us at the Santa and the Business of Being Santa, and Sat Bob's Live, where we're here live every Tuesday night. And if you would, reach up there and give us a like and a share, because every time you do, it helps others see our broadcast. Thank you.
Very true. And remember, you can always catch the replays of this show, as well as all of our past shows from the past 6 months on both the 2 groups, Santa and the Business Being Santa and Sat Bob's Live. And I want to just say thank you again to everyone for the prayers. Prayers do work. We made it through the night, and I think we're all on the mend, looking forward to getting stronger from here. So remember to join us for the next Tuesday night live show each week, 7 p.m. Central Time. Same Claus time, same Claus channel. Randall, thank you again, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Barry, thank you so much for everything that you've done. And I know folks haven't seen it, but Barry has kept up with me hour after hour for the last 2.5, 3 weeks, checking in on me and making sure I didn't need anything. And just want to thank you for that, brother.
Oh, you're welcome, brother. And like I say, many prayers are going up for you, and continued prayers for you to get stronger and healthier and make a complete and full recovery. We love you, buddy.
Well, we love you too. And
prayers.
The next thing is to get my wife home. I know she's ready to be home, and doggone, I'm ready for her to come home. So thank you so much. God bless all. And we'll see you next week on Tuesday Night Live.
God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Good night.
We do this.